The Indominus Rex, one of the most terrifying predators to ever grace us on Jurassic World, is now going to be thrown into one of the most hostile environments for any creature, the world of Monster Hunter. Be sure to comment down below, like and subscribe and share with your friends, and let us throw the Indominus Rex, or Rexes, into the world of Monster Hunter. So this is going to be simple here. We're actually going to use the Indominus Rex from the Jurassic World franchise here. And he and she are actually going to be grown to, well, their full size, which is around, I think, 50 feet tall or 50 feet long and slightly bigger than the Tyrannosaurus Rex. However, this is where we do get a little bit of concern, no pun intended here, as we will be throwing them, or, well, 5 Indominus Rexes, I should say here, into the ancient forest only, as I do like to kind of limit the spacing here so we don't have to talk about how they adapt to much harsher conditions. And I think the ancient forest actually does suit them because, again, we are putting 5 Indominus Rexes here into a forest-based environment, much like Isla Nublar. So the ancient forest pretty much gives them the environment suitability that they need here. Sure, it might be a little bit hotter than Isla Nublar, but again, it should be suitable enough to where everyone can get along. So this actually covers a couple things here, such as shelter and water, as there are areas where even Anginaths actually like to take a rest here. That will come into a factor later. But the Indominus Rex should easily have shelter and, well, pretty much water is pretty easy to access here. And we will be using the main monsters that we see here. So shout out to Ocean Z, who actually was able to find out what the main monsters were in the ancient forest. And this will actually give us a good look for the Indominus Rex and how it will behave and how it will have to adapt and change. Keep in mind, again, there are 5 of them in this region. Now, back at home here, the Indominus Rex was able to hunt down pretty much anything it wanted on the island. Ankylosaurs, Triceratopses, even sauropods, as we've seen in Camp Cretaceous, it took down a Brachiosaurus when it was unaware. This would again put it around the building level or large building levels when it comes to attack potency, because again, it is able to take down fully grown sauropods here, even slaughtering that of Apatosauruses and an entire herd of them as well here. The Indominus Rex also has things like camouflage and actually heat sensing here, thanks to the pit viper and cuttlefish DNA, as well as being able to change her body temperature. But without further ado, let's actually begin with part 1. Now, this will highlight everything that the Indominus Rex is capable of eating in the new world here. And again, we will discuss the difficulties of certain prey items and then the consequences of possibly hunting certain prey animals here. And well, we have to start off with the bottom, and that would be most swine. Most swine themselves here are really not anything to worry about for the Indominus Rex. They're just small, tiny pigs here with green moss. They are able to camouflage themselves, so that does give them a chance to hide from the Indominus Rex. But again, they are able to sense heat, and it's very possible that the Indominus Rex would use its camouflage while in the new world a lot more often. Next up, we do have Kelby, and this is where the consequences actually start here. The Kelby are a favored prey of Nargacuja. So this means that if the Indominus Rex is hunting massive herds of Kelby, then this could lead it into a confrontation with Nargacuja, likely more often than it would like to. So the Indominus Rexes might have to be careful on how often they prey upon it. Then there's Aptonoth. While obviously there are plenty to go around, this does put it in direct competition with the other predators of the, well, ancient forest here, such as Zinogre, Rathalos, Anginath, and even on some occasions, Tobikadachi. So with that being said here, yeah, the Indominus Rex could easily prey upon an Aptonoth, and I don't really think it could do too much here. Now, you might say this is because, Monster Hunter World monsters are much more terrifying, and yes, that is pretty much true here. However, the sheer fact that Aptonoth are also known to be able to fight back against monsters like Gendrome and Iodrome does, actually really, bring some, I guess you could say, difficulty here. And then the same applies to the Kestodon. Now, the Kestodon are not really much here for the Indominus Rex. But it is something that the Indominus Rex will eat here, as the males are really not known to back down from certain predators here. But again, at the end of the day, they are food nevertheless here, and they will be eaten. There are also assortments of fish and other creatures the Indominus Rex could easily get access to here, but let's actually start off with some more difficult prey, and that would actually be the Jaguars. The Jaguars are difficult because, again, they are capable of climbing. I think the term for it is arboreal creatures here, and well, they are. They are able to climb trees to get away from much larger predators that their, well, alpha cannot contend with. Speaking of their alpha, the Great Jaguars. While I do think this is a smorgasbord for a group of Indominus Rexes here, that does not change the fact that the Great Jaguars is capable of putting up a fight. Now, yes, it is in no way, shape, or form a match for even the top tier, lower tier predators such as Anjanath and Tobi-Kadachi. However, this is still something formidable to the Indominus Rex here. But I can actually see the group of Indominus Rexes here actually being able to utilize their camouflage and coordinating with each other to actually get a decent assault here. Kuliyaku is another creature that is definitely going to be difficult for the Indominus Rex to hunt here, mainly due to its speed, but also the sheer fact that if the Kuliyaku wants to, it may grab a rock against a single Indominus Rex and, well, give it a concussion. Maybe not knock it out, but the Indominus Rex is definitely going to be in for a serious concussion here. And I could definitely see that pissing off the group here. And, well, Kuliyaku is definitely fast enough to escape a group of Indominus Rexes here. But we then have the poisoner himself here. The mushroom diddler. Pookie Pookie. Alright, so Pookie Pookie is obviously a problem for two reasons. Number one, he can fly and get out of there, and it's a very skittish bird wyvern. But it also has its poison here. You see, one well-placed shot, and that's a poison Indominus Rex that's likely going to die very shortly here. And then, if the group messes up badly and spooks it, that's a cloud of poison here. So, with that being said here, I do give the group of Indominus Rex's prey score at least a 7 out of 10. They can definitely prey on a large majority of things here and definitely eat it. It's just that the higher ups are definitely going to be a problem here. So, with that being said here, we now enter part 2, that being competition. And this is where we talk about all the predators that would basically harm and possibly even kill even a group of Indominus Rexes, starting off with Tobi-Kadachi. Now you might say, why didn't I include Tobi-Kadachi in the predators or, the prey section here? And it's because I don't see the Indominus Rex being able to successfully prey upon it on a much more consistent basis. Tobi-Kadachi being able to now hunt younger Aptonoth, being able to hunt Kelby as well here, as well as things like Moswine and Roggies, Jaguars, and likely even their greats as well here. This means that Tobi-Kadachi is in that ballpark of where he's able to compete with other monsters. Keep in mind, Tobi-Kadachi's defense here is the sheer fact that it does carry an electrical charge capable of stunning even the likes of Anjanath. Now, Anjanath is definitely a big boy and he's built different. But even then here, I could definitely see cases where a Tobi-Kadachi would probably not bother fighting an Indominus Rex. But again, if the Indominus Rex messes around, it's going to find out. Plus, those electrical quills going into the Indominus's body with it never being able to show it could tank such a powerful electrical jolt here. Yeah, that's not going to go well. And next off we have, well, Anjanath. Now, Anjanath, I do think, is going to be the Indominus Rex's main competition. And that is because they will likely overlap in territories very frequently here, unless Anjanath species are in the desert. But considering the sheer fact that they do inhabit both the desert and forest regions here, the Indominus Rex is definitely going to be able to overlap with Anjanath here. And while it is able to hang with the likes of Rexy, this is not that sort of case here. Anjanath has no problem not only thrashing monsters that are twice his size here, but he's able to literally get his jaws around them, such as Tetranodon, and being able to actually lift them up and just straight up slam them. And these are monsters that, again, would weigh more than him here. Meaning Anjanath has some good neck muscles. I'm just saying, I gotta find out what his work routine is. Bro got a strong neck. And that's not even to mention his fire breath. Yeah, even a pack of Indominus Rexes are not going to be able to compare to this guy at all. This dude is a freaking unit. He's built way heavier and way tougher. Now, next off, we do have Nargacuja. Now, Nargacuja is going to be the consequence, like I said earlier, for the Indominus Rex hunting the Kelby. And considering the Indominus Rex's sadistic nature as well here, which I, almost forgot, the Indominus Rex is likely to spook herds of Kelby, thus causing more conflict with the Nargacuja. And well, this could likely lead to an Indominus Rex not only being killed, but eaten by a hungry and angry Nargacuja. This is also due to the fact that Nargacuja was confirmed to be an equal to Rathalos, the king of the skies here, and with the sheer fact that Nargacuja can easily sneak up on a sleeping Indominus Rex at night, much like leopards being able to sneak up on gorillas in the middle of the night while they're in trees here, and pretty much just kill them right then and there here. So, with that being said here, the Indominus Rex really wouldn't have any way to track down the Nargacuja or make sure it's, within a safer area where there are no Nargacujas at night here. And this is because the Indominus Rex does lack echolocation like its Indoraptor counterpart or its Indoraptor successor, while Nargacuja is also a nocturnal predator. The next one up is definitely Zinogre, and this is going to be a huge problem for even a group of Indominus Rexes. Zinogre is built, alright? Zinogre is tanky, it's muscular. And that's not even into the sheer fact of his electrical abilities. With his relationship with the Fulgur bugs here, and likely it's very possible that Zinogres in the new world are much more powerful than the ones in the old world, considering there are no gargoyle birds to keep the thunderbugs in check. Now, the Indominus Rex is likely to prey upon a young Zinogre if it gets the opportunity here, but that is likely to get its parents called, or pretty much a howl that would signify its parents here. And whichever parent comes calling, or answers that call, it's not going to bode well for the Indominus Rex here. Even in a close quarters fight here, which obviously it would not benefit the Indominus Rex at all here, Zinogre is far too athletic for a creature of its size, and I can definitely see the Indominus Rex looking up in horror as a Zinogre leaps at it with its other claw or its thumb claw extended to the other side, and just slashing an Indominus Rex to pieces, likely killing it in one blow as well. So the Indominus Rexes are going to have to clear a wide berth from the Zinogres. There's no way. And finally, I do think this is the one that will likely get them killed the most, and this is Rathalos and Rathian. Now, the reason why I'm saying that is really because of Rathian. Rathian is a ground nester, or again, if she can find a decent tree, she will nest in it, but it has to be strong enough to support her massive bulk, as she has more than Rathalos. I can see the group of Indominus Rexes likely getting an easier meal from a clutch of eggs, or assuming they'll get an easier meal from a clutch of eggs from a lone mother Rathian. However, this is the Indominus Rexes underestimating her, actually thinking that they have the upper hand when it comes to numbers. But due to Rathian's massive bulk and the sheer fact that she is laced with poison from literally head to tail and talon here, but again, let's say because of these 5 Indominus Rexes, Rathian feels a bit overwhelmed. They're outmaneuvering her, they're not really doing too much to take her attacks here, but her fire breath's able to keep them away, but again, it's just a 5-on-1 situation, right? Well, Rathian has a signature roar. Now, Rathian also has 2 roars, I should really say here. One is her regular roar, and one is her vocalization roar. And this is where her husband comes answering with fire and fury. They would be dead at that point here. Rathalos are not known to play about a couple things here. Number one is their territory. Number two is their woman. And number three is their children. Rathalos would not only dive bomb an Indominus Rex when it's unsuspected here, but it would dig its talons right into the back of it and crush it immediately. Rathaloses are more maneuverable, they're faster, and in all honesty, they pretty much bully some of the other predators that, Indominus Rex would be getting killed by. Anjanath, toyed with, like a ragdoll. Same with Tobikadachi, a ragdoll. Nothing more here. So, with that being said here, the score for the Indominus Rex's competition is really a 0 out of 10 here. Even with the likes of Tobikadachi. They just don't have the means to counteract these types of creatures here. It's very possible they don't even turn down their aggression. They could be gone within a couple days, if not a week at most. However, we also forgot to talk about another part, and that's predators here. And, well, Devil Joe is one of the few predators that will actively go out of his way and eat other predators. Basically, super predator times 10. And so, with Ozzy, his Dragon Energy, and if you guys have seen my Goji Center review and technically debunk as well here, Devil Joe would solo Jurassic World, no problem here. So, believe it or not, with that being said here, I actually give the Indominus Rex a survival rate of 10% at the most here. It can eat all the prey animals, no problem, but it cannot keep up with the competition here. I do think that the Indominus Rexes will likely meet their end if they do mess around with a Rathian. And this is going to get them the find out part from Rathalos here. Tobikadachi, again, just doesn't suit the prey item for them here. Because, again, unlike most of the other predators, low-tier predators here, Tobikadachi actually is capable of holding its own at the very least here. Utilizing the electricity on his body, it can even knock away an Anjanath, which I do think would be the Indominus Rex's main competition, and likely, more often than not, the final nail in the coffin. But let's actually talk about a way the Indominus Rex could actually survive in Monster Hunter. How would that do it here? Well, believe it or not here, the subspecies I would like to call it is the Overlord Rex, which would actually be called the Ultimate Emperor. This is an Indominus Rex that has pretty much evolved and, well, pretty much sustained itself in the world of Monster Hunter. So, I do think that the Indominus Rex's muscle mass would definitely have to increase, as well as its draw strength as well here. And this would not only give it the ability to prey upon Tobikadachi, but allow it to fight against monsters like Anjanath, and for the invasive species like Tiger Rex and Zinogre. This will also give it an advantage when fighting off and fending off against Nargacuja. Now, as for some of its biological adaptations here, I definitely think night vision is definitely important here, as well as likely having a venomous bite. I do think the venomous bite would definitely come from likely their diet of some of the other creatures, such as Pookie. And so, eventually, they would actually develop not only immunity for its venom, but actually create their own venom system from their pit viper DNA, here. So this Indominus Rex's, or the Overlord Rex's competition would mainly still be Anjanath and Zinogre here, with Nargacuja being a problem to young and infant Indominus Rexes, not running to risk the fight against older ones, unlike Anjanath here. And this would actually be important here, but we also need to talk about the relationship between the Monster Hunters and the Indominus Rexes, or the Overlord Rexes here. And I actually think they would actually form a symbiotic relationship eventually. It would definitely take time, but because of the Indominus Rex's not only increased intelligence here, but its echolocation, likely fire-resistant skin here, I think the only thing it would have problems with are Devil Joes and, well, Rathalos and Rathians if they press the situation here. I could see it where a hunter actually saves a family of Indominus Rexes, or Overlord Rexes, from the Devil Joe here. And in doing so, it does earn their trust. So, with that being said here, seeing the benefit that the hunters have here, a group of Indominus Rexes, or Overlord Rexes here, would then begin to benefit their more hunter companions here. So basically, you would basically have a Indominus Rex backing you up on hunts here. Or you would have Overlord Rexes backing you up on hunts here. This would actually give you an advantage over Devil Joe, as they could easily use their venomous bite to weaken their opponents here. Think of it as a Varactyl, but instead of actually using it as a beast of burden, it's a beast of benefit. Okay, and yes, I will be doing a Varactyl video very soon here. I might even include it as just a bonus video for the guys here, seeing if it could survive the age of the dinosaurs or the Pleistocene. Maybe I will do the Pleistocene instead here. But hey, let me know what you guys think down below. Please comment, like, and subscribe and share with your friends. This is Legendary Grimlock, and I hope you guys have a blessed day. Peace.